I always tell people, you know, I mean, if you have a dream, keep punching away at it. You know, sooner or later, you know, you'll make it. I mean, you just got to stay at it. They know it's feeding time.
Oh my God. What is it that you do with Keepers of the Wild?
I actually am co-director. I've been with Keepers of the Wild going on 18 years, and I pretty much do it all. And in a nutshell, that would be animal care, handling, medical, do quite a bit of the veterinarian work. I'm not a licensed veterinarian, but I work very closely with our vets on call and on our staff. And I also do training, staff, hiring, just a little bit of everything. So I got involved with Keepers of the Wild. I started volunteering, and I just wound up staying with it, and 18 years later, and never thinking that I would be working with exotic animals or tigers or grizzly bears or any of that fun stuff. But then it just kind of manifested into that, and I just couldn't. I mean, then it was a mission. Then it had to be, I have to do this.
Right. And what are the hours of operation?
We work 9 to 5.
Okay.
Closed on Tuesday, every day, including holidays. Even we're actually closed on Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day, but we still work because people don't think that, you know, the animals don't know it's Thanksgiving or whatever. So we feed them early, and then we have a late dinner if we can with the staff. And so, yeah, a lot of people go, oh, it's so sad you have to work. It's like, well, they've got to eat. They don't know what holidays are. They don't keep a calendar.
Right. So the reason why I wanted to do this particular segment with you was because I see so many monkeys on Facebook.
Yes.
And everybody thinks, oh, look how cute, and they're bathing them. But let's really talk about the nitty-gritty about having a wild animal as a pet, especially a monkey.
Especially a monkey. I would basically tell you that I would consider the monkeys to be the wildest out of all of them. At least with a tiger, you know that you have the territory, you have a lot of signs with it. A monkey is just going to react and go, and once it gets hold of you, you can have 30 or 40 bites before you can do anything about it. Everybody thinks they're cute because they're human-like and they imitate and they do everything. Okay, but they're not. So they bite, they live in troops, families called troops. They do the same thing to each other. You just may not see it that often on some of your shows, but they do the same thing. They fight for dominance, they fight for alpha positions, and within the troop itself. So there is a lot of factors, I think, that people don't connect with because they want to make them human-like.
Right. And
So
then I see a lot of the monkey with the dogs.
Yes.
In the family environment.
Yes.
And so that's, okay, a dog is domesticated, but yet still a wild animal.
Right.
It's still an animal.
Right.
So what happens when you put two different breeds together like that with...
Most of the time they will form a bond, and a lot of times they do it as when they're young, so that they do form that kinship and that understanding. But there still could be times that the dog could get bit, the dog could change. It's the same that it could be with a family. Like if you have a small child that's picking on the dog, The dog may do a little
Sure.
snap or something. You can't indicate or predict if that's going to happen or not happen.
Well, let's take a look at some of the monkeys that you have and tell me what the difference is, which ones people try to domesticate. Now, would this be one that, no, I wouldn't think.
Not
right?
so much, yeah, but the problem was, this is Dexter.
Hi, Dexter.
And Dexter's
so
a
handsome.
stump-tailed macaque. Don't get too
Oh,
close,
I
because you see the
won't.
first thing he does. When you see the teeth like that too, he is kind of trying to show you that he does have a good set of jaws. His teeth, it's a little bit of a dominant kind of threatening, like,
Corey, don't go
you
below
know.
the waist. Because he's
now see
showing
what he's
it.
doing? He's got some neurotic behaviors.
Yes.
These particular monkeys here actually came to us from Sheriff Joe Arpaio.
Aw,
It's
I'm
okay, Dexter.
sorry,
You're all right, baby.
Dexter. You're okay.
Yeah.
Now, the reason for that behavior is what?
Just neurotic behavior. Sometimes, you know, we have a couple of them that do different things. We don't know their background, so there could have been some determining factor in their youth when they were growing up. It could
So
have been
you-
just frustration. It could have been,
And
you know.
mentioned that one came from Sheriff Joe.
Yes, actually this whole group here,
Okay.
he actually went in and rescued a huge hoarding facility of about 180 animals, and then the primates were there. We were told that the sheriff, we weren't on the actual rescue, they brought them, we helped after they had already confiscated them. We were told they were in very small cages, had not been cleaned up after. They had to literally cut the locks to get the doors open.
Would this one be considered one that would go in a home or no? 'Cause they
Possibly.
haven't-
They are
okay.
macaques. These are different species of macaques. These are bonnet macaques. And yes, I mean, if somebody were to think that, you know, this is the kind of monkey they would like, they would get them from a baby. They would raise them like a child. They'd put the diapers on them, which is very sad for these guys. They'll cut out diaper holes for their tails, and then these animals are put in clothes and dressed up. And
that's not their that's not
no.
their natural
No, that's why they have fur. They
environment,
don't
right.
need t-shirts and
Right.
jeans. This is
This.
Billy. He's a baboon.
Wow.
He's actually a cross between an olive and a hamadryas.
Hello,
And
Billy.
he was a pet as well. Now, what they did, now if he does raise his eyebrows, do not do that back to him. That is
No.
not a good thing. When
Okay.
chimps are smiling or it looks like they're smiling, that is not a good thing. It's a fear reaction.
Okay.
And if you do your eyebrows to him, then he takes that as a challenge.
Okay.
When they start to mature, and they all do, they'll go through it like a teenager. So they're young, they're cute, you're their family. They start to get into their teenage stage, and before you know it, everything is a little bit
Sure.
unclear up there.
Right.
They're just doing what comes natural by instinct, and then next thing you know, somebody gets bit, somebody gets hurt. People don't realize the strength they have. They don't know they're hurting you because in their own troop, they'd be able to judge that. Now this is Nathan. Nathan is a pigtail macaque, and that's his girlfriend Cinderie. Now Nathan, you see how his tail is kind of a little to the side? That's exactly what happened. He was raised in a family. They put diapers, they had him in blue jeans, they had him in little baby clothes, and they thought that was okay. Now he's a family member. He got very bonded to the man of the house. The man passed away. So what does Nathan do? Thinks he has to take over as a dominant male, starts getting assertive.
Oh,
They got
no.
scared of him, and guess what? The family member got taken out.
So this is
People
a very
don't.
important question for those people that have these as pets that no longer want them. Where do they go? What do they do so that the animal does not get euthanized?
It's hard to find sanctuaries that'll take primates. It is very hard to place, and that's what people need to understand. They get these animals not looking at the longevity of them and what are they going to do. These animals can live 30 plus years. Some of your larger monkeys can live up to 50 years. Are you willing to take care of that monkey the whole time? And what if it bites you? You got to be willing to accept that. And there is not a lot of facilities. There are some particular primate facilities that will take them in sanctuaries, but they're getting filled.
Right.
Because everybody's realizing after that cute wears off and that grown-up comes on, they don't
So
want to
the-
deal with them anymore.
Now this is what I'm talking about,
Yes.
cute, and I knew we would
Yes.
get to this. This little guy is adorable.
Yes, these are capuchins.
Okay, and
Yes,
tell me
this
a
is
little.
Max.
Hi, Max.
Now, if you can see, Max is showing how good a sized teeth he has. If I were to give him a pecan or a walnut right now, he would have it cracked, shelled, and eaten before you and I could even consider cracking it. Imagine what that can do to your face, your
Sure.
fingers, anything like that. Now,
I want
Lola,
to say that Max is very, very cute. Thank
he
you.
is.
Look,
He is.
you
He can be
know.
adorable, and he
You
wants to
are-
offer his tail, and
Hi,
you're just
baby.
you're gonna flirt.
I know. I love you so much too.
See, he's flirting. He always picks up somebody good looking in the back, and he flirts.
Absolutely, but
give
and
me
that's
your
the
tail.
problem.
Please give
So
me your
people
tail.
just need
Yeah.
to adore them from afar.
Yeah, they
And
need to understand what they're capable of, and they survive in the wild, be in the small, for a reason.
And how long do these particular monkeys live?
They can live into their 30s, 35 years.
That's a big
Yeah,
commitment, and
it
most
is.
people can't even take care of their kids that long, so please don't get a monkey.
They are very curious and they can be very destructive. So people get them into their house and all of a sudden they're going to get into everything. So that is another thing. And you know, you don't think this little animal could go in and maybe open the medicine cabinet, and then guess what? He could have medicine
Sure.
that he shouldn't have any exposure to. If people want to let him free run in their house, they can't. There's things. What if he got into a cutlery drawer or something like that? You know, I mean, think about all of these dynamics you do safeguard
But
for
they
your children.
But people don't
They don't think.
like that.
And
yeah.
these little guys are smart. You see, we have double locks. If we
Sure.
leave one of these, they will figure it out. They do check them. They come over and check to see if they're unlocked. So they're very
And
smart.
they're very intelligent. Hi.
And just be careful because she
Oh,
does a
I
reach
am.
too, and she's got
Yeah.
retractable claws, so she can give you a
Okay.
gash real fast.
Yeah, I see. You're beautiful though from afar. Now, no one would have this as a pet, would they?
You would be surprised.
Oh, come
Precious here
on.
is a ring-tailed lemur. The lemurs are exclusive to Madagascar. And she would actually live in a troop. They are considered a primate. She would live in a troop. And the females are the dominant. They are a matriarchal system, so they are in charge.
So when you said her claws will retract,
Yes.
then people, when they get these animals as pets, they take all those parts out.
Most of the time
Yes.
they do.
And that's so wrong.
Yes, we have some monkeys that have had all their teeth removed, so that's pretty sad. And she does have her claws. She was
goodness.
passed around as a pet onto, you know, a couple had her, they didn't want her anymore. We don't know the real reason. So a lot of times we don't get the stories on it. We
Yeah.
just get the animal and we try to do the best we can for them. So that's another thing that people need to realize is when these animals are getting taken away from their mothers or their families, they don't get that full range of what they need to grow up and to do what's natural to
Yeah.
them. Instinct does kick in, but you also see sometimes they get confused by that because they don't understand
Oh,
it
sure.
because mama hasn't taught them everything they need to know. The same with the tigers. Those tigers cannot go back out into the wild. They stay with mother for 2 to 3 years. They learn their hunting skills, their survival techniques. They learn so much from their mothers, and when they get yanked from their mother at a young age, there's no way that they're going to ever know that and be able to survive. Plus they learn territory, there's just so much. And you know, it would be like us being yanked away as a youngster
Yeah,
from our family
absolutely.
and then just expected to figure out how to be social.
Well, you have provided so much information. It's just amazing. We are so grateful to have this opportunity to be here.
Yes, thank you.
And to help educate the public.
That's the key.
Yes.
We have to educate. People
So
need to
please,
be more aware.
people, don't get these monkeys as pets, please. They are animals. They're wild animals. They deserve to live their life out fully in the wild. Before you get a monkey, just don't do it. Oh, babies. You guys are precious as they come. I know. I love you. Oh my God. This is wild. Testing